Alhamdulillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayh. Wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. May yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa may yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam tabaraka wa sallama tasliman kasiran kasira amma ba'd. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa man ahsanu qawlan mimman da'a ila Allah wa amila salihan wa qala innani minal muslimin. My dear brothers and respected elders and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the religion of Islam. This religion of Islam is a religion for the entire mankind until the end of the day, the end of the world, the doomsday. The doomsday is the day when Allah will make the whole entire universe, earth, to collapse, to disintegrate into pieces. And Allah will create another place. That is the place of the hereafter. We are now in the worldly life. We are not in the life of the hereafter. When we die, we will go to the life of the hereafter. So it's a different world, an entity that we can't understand and we cannot see what happened in the life after death. If we dig the grave, we will not be able to see. We only see the soil, the earth, the worms. We will not see the fire. Occasionally Allah reveal it, occasionally. But if we dig the grave, of those who are pious, we don't see any garden or anything. Because the grave of the pious is like part of the garden of paradise. And the grave of these impious people are like the part of the hell. So we will not be able to see the fire. Occasionally, fire come out. Occasionally, once in a while. Allah wants to show to us who are still living that the fire, the azab, the punishment of the grave is real. It's not something which is not real. This is real. And some people who are in the grave and they've been made to be part of the garden of paradise, their body are not decomposed. They remain intact, as if they just died. Some also have a lot of nur, lot of lights from their faces. So, occasionally, So it is, there's a story narrated by one sheikh in Syria or somewhere there, that the grave digger once upon a time received the corpse of a person. Nobody sent that corpse of the death of that person, but only his mother, few people. But when that man, that grave digger, was about to place the corpse inside the grave, something come from the sky to snatch the corpse and take it away. Another time, same thing, the same woman also, another son of her, the same thing happened. So the grave digger, after seeing it, he became painted, So he asked the woman, why? They said they are the learners of deen. These are the learners of deen to please Allah, not the learners of deen who have the intention of this material wealth of this world. These are the people who learn deen only to please Allah. So the Shaykh was trying to emphasize the importance to learn deen. But to learn deen with sincerity. Even Allah did not allow that person, the son of that woman, to be buried there, buried somewhere else. So my dear brothers and sisters, the azab of grave is real. So when we are buried, the first question we ask, what is your Rabb? Not who is your Rabb. Who means Rabb can only be person, but now what is your Rabb? It can be also not a person. It can be money, it can be work, it can be anything. There are two angels, Munkar and Nakir. The Munkar will ask, who is your Rabb? So if we say Allah, then the Nakir will ask, what's the proof? What's the proof that your God is Allah? Then you have to answer. The answer should be, I'm inviting people to Allah. I'm doing the work, inviting people to Allah. So one is the order, and the work to invite people to Allah is the haq or the right of reciting the kalimah. A person who is saying that there is no God except Allah, Muhammad is the Messiah of Allah, there must be proof, The angel will ask for proof, evidence, evidence-based, Evidence-based. What evidence, what proof you can give me that you say Allah is your Rabb? So that man says, I invite people to Allah. So will we be able to answer if we are not doing the work of inviting people to Allah, inviting people to good, forbidding people from evil, in the way shown by Muhammad Sallam, intention to please Allah? We will not be able to answer it. There's two questions. One, what is your Rabb? Second, if you answer yes, Allah is our Rabb, then we will have to tell the angel evidence to show that we really believe there is no God except Allah. So, if we really believe there is no God except Allah, we must do the work which fulfill the right of reciting the kalimah. And nobody knows now, the whole world, until I tell them. These people also didn't know, isn't it? Huh? Do you know? You must be very thankful that Allah has sent me. Thankful to Allah, and you should be also thankful to me as a means to teach you, but you are not thankful. You don't regard me as you should, You love your wife, yourself more than me. You don't even like me, You don't even like me. Not to say love me. You don't even like me. To teach you the work that fulfill the right of reciting the kalimah. You've been reciting the kalimah, but there must be evidence to show that you really believe there is no God except Allah. If you really believe there is no God except Allah, Muhammad, you must do the work of inviting people to Allah. That's why Allah says, whose words are better than the words of calling people to Allah, or the works of inviting people to Allah. This is my path. Tell Muhammad, tell to them, this is my path. The path of inviting people to Allah. Qul hazihi sabili ad'u ila Allah. Wa man ahsanu qawlan mimman da'a ila Allah. It's all in the Quran. But We Muslims simply do not understand the Quran. Do not even understand, and therefore we do not even practice. The work of inviting people to Allah is not the work of the prophets only. We used to tell people and to teach people the work of inviting people to Allah is only the work of the prophets. We are not prophets. We are only the followers of the prophet. And if someone asks us, please do the work of dawah. Dawah means to call people to Allah, you know. And we simply answer to that question, oh, that's the work of Nabi. We are not Nabi. We are not prophets. So this understanding has gone for years, for centuries. There's nobody knows that this work of inviting people to Allah is actually the haq. The haq means the right of reciting the kalima. And when we do the right, we fulfill the rights of reciting the kalima, then only Allah will make the kalima to enter into our hearts. First to the level which Allah is pleased, then much higher than the level which Allah is pleased, and higher and higher. Of course, the basic is we must reach to the level which Allah is pleased in order to qualify us to become the true believer of good deeds. Otherwise, we will not be able to enter straight into paradise and save from hellfire. But that is a very basic minimum, you know. If we are not able to become the true believer of good deeds, then we will certainly be thrown into hellfire. Only then, after we have been punished in the hellfire for the evil deeds that we have done, only then we will be allowed to enter paradise. But still, we are not the person who are known to Allah as a successful person. A successful person is a person who enters paradise and safe from the hellfire. So Rashidi, since you are not a true believer of the good deeds, if ever you died now, you will enter the hellfire. I'm telling you. Huh? You like it? To enter the hellfire? No. If you know what is hellfire is, you will not like it. But if you don't know, then you may say, yes. It's okay. It's just a place, you know, a little bit uncomfortable. No, it's not a bit uncomfortable. It's very, very, extremely uncomfortable. You'll become the firewood of the fire of hell. Allah says the firewoods of the fire of hell is man and stone. You know? You only eat the molten pus. You drink the molten pus, and you only eat the zakum, fruits with thorns. When you eat the fruits, you tear off your intestines, your stomach. But you still have to eat it because you are very, 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 very hungry, you know. And you still have to drink the molten pus because you are very, 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 very thirsty. And the heat of the fire of hell will burn your skins. And then once it has been burned, it will be again recreated, new skin, and again burned. And the process repeated itself. So it's very painful, you know, the skin. Once been torn out, burned. So my dear brothers and respected elders, we must save ourselves from being thrown into the hellfire. In order to be able to save ourselves, we must become the true believer of good deeds. In order to become the true believer of good deeds, the kalima, there is no God except Allah and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, must enter into heart to at least to the level which Allah is pleased. And in order for the kalima to be able to enter into our heart to the level which is to the minimum, to the level which Allah is pleased, and much higher, we have to fulfill the rights of reciting the kalima. The right of reciting the kalima is to do the work of inviting people to Allah, to do the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people from evil. Not in our way, in the way of Muhammad Sallam. Not with the intention to be famous, to be rewarded, to please Allah. So, You see, when we are saying the kalima, we are reciting the kalima, we are actually making promise, to Allah. We are making a covenant or promise. Promise, when you make is about to get married, you have to perform nikah, and in that event you have to recite the kalima nikah, and that is also a promise. This is a kalima of promise to the man, to the woman, that to whom you are married. Yazid, if Yazid do not provide a house, food, drink, clothes to the wife, is not fulfilling the promise which he has made at the time of his nikah. And similarly also Rashidi and every one of you. So the kalima nikah is a kalima of promise, You swear in the name of Allah. It should be mentioned actually in nikah, I swear in the name of Allah that I accepted in the name, or we say in the names of Allah I'm accepted when the people solemnize you, and they will say that I married you to this girl, naming them this with the mahar of this, and then you say you accepted in the name of Allah. You should put, but nobody do this now. They should say I accepted it in the name of Allah. In the name of Allah, I accepted this. You should put the name of Allah, but no one do it now. They just say I accepted it. So that promise is made in the name of Allah. So because you make it in the name of Allah, it's incumbent upon you to fulfill the promise. It's incumbent, obligatory. In events of failure to fulfill it, you are making sins, committing sins. Then when you produce children, then even the rights of the children you have to fulfill it. That's part and parcel of the kalima nikah, which you have uttered. It's a kalima of promise. Similarly, when we utter the kalima of haq, the kalima of truth, it is actually a covenant. It's a promise to Allah that we will fulfill His desire. In the kalima nikah, we have promised that we will fulfill the desire of the lady, that woman to whom you have got to be married, The desire of the woman is to eat, to drink, clothes, house, and to have sex with you. You have to fulfill it, not to have sex only and run away. Others is fulfilled by the wife. I'm only sex. This is not bad. The person who fulfilled the kalima nikah, fulfill the obligation, responsibility associated with kalima nikah. Similarly, reciting the kalima La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah is actually a kalima of obligation, of responsibility to fulfill the desire of Allah. And what is the desire of Allah? Not to have house, not to have clothes like a wife, but the desire of Allah is for the entire mankind in the entire world to believe in Him, to worship Him and to obey Him. Understand? So, what are the work? What is the work that will fulfill that obligation, that responsibility, to make everyone in the entire world to believe and to obey Allah? Must be the work of dawah, the work of inviting people to Allah, the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people from evil. If we are not doing that work, that means we are not fulfilling the covenant, the promise, the obligation associated with the reciting of the kalima. We are not fulfilling the desire of Allah. We are only fulfilling our desires. We are reciting the kalima. We are supposed to be fulfilling the right of the kalima is to fulfill the desire of Allah, to do the work of dawah, to do the work of inviting people to Allah. But instead of that, we do not do the work. Or worse still, we doing the work of inviting people to evils, to shaitan. So Rashidi, he doesn't understand this. His work is only to earn money, and not the work of inviting people to Allah. If you are doing only the work of inviting, your work is only to earn money from morning till evening, that's all. Other than sleeping and making sex and eating and drinking, you are only doing the work of amazing wealth or doing the work of acquiring the material of this world. You are just like animals, You have not fulfilled the right of the kalima. And then when you have been asked, even if you say Allah, those people who don't recite the kalima, they won't be able to say even Allah is my God. They will say, what is your God? Even if you say Allah, what evidence? Nakir, the angel Nakir will say, what evidence? So if we are not doing the work of inviting people to Allah, the way Muhammad SAW, not like Sufyan Ampang, only once in a week, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. English or not? To do the work of Nabi once in a week, which to Sufyan is already very, very good. Very good. When I told him, you must do it daily, he said, Hakim, I'm better than Hakim. My friend, my bosom friend. He don't even comes once a week. So he's always, telling he's still good. Our benchmark is not our friends. Our benchmark is Muhammad SAW. Sufyan Ampang must know that. Your benchmark, it's not your friends. No anybody else. Muhammad SAW, he is not giving daily for a short while in a day. He is giving daily from morning till evening, till night also. Like all many prophets of Allah. Allah mentioned in the Quran that Noah alayhi salam do the work of inviting people to Allah the day and the night, Laila wan nahar. And Allah says, Ya Muhammad, you are during the day, you are swimming in a sea of men, You can't stop if you are swimming. If you stop, you'll collapse, you'll be drowned. So the work has to be done continuously, actually, the whole day. That's a benchmark. So we are only told to do a moment in a day, morning and evening. 45 minutes in the morning, 45 minutes in the evening. Daily. Sufyan only done 45 minutes in a week. So is Sufyan committing sins or not? Or is okay? What do you think, Sama? Loud.
Committing sin.
Is Sufyan understand that or he doesn't?
Little bit.
He doesn't understand it. Because he thinks, because everybody is not doing it. You see? Everybody is not doing it. So it's okay. I'm doing at least once in a week. So Muslims or people who recited the kalima doesn't think that this work of inviting people to Allah is obligatory, extremely obligatory. They don't. Because almost nobody is doing it. Not even the ustad, the so-called religious scholar. The mufti. They're not doing it. So how Sufyan able to understand that it is obligatory? And the one who says to him that his work is obligatory is a doctor, a professor in optometry, not even a scholar, never gone to madrasa. His son, he sent to madrasa to become hafiz. So he believed that only hafiz start knowing about religion, not professor and doctor like me. And he is telling me, the professor, that It's obligatory. How can I accept him? So he go on not doing it. I've been telling him not today, only many years ago. I'm telling to the whole people while I was in Sri Petaling, the Markas of Tabligh, that you have to do this work daily, and you only to stop doing this work when you die. But they just laugh at me, make fun of me. Nobody wants to follow except very few. Very few of the entire mankind, Very few. So just imagine, how we are going to answer to the question of Munkar and Nankir. Even if we do daily, and Yazid say, I'm doing daily, but why you are not able to say Allah? Because Allah is not in your hearts to the level which Allah is pleased. Even if you have level Allah pleased, have you done the work? So it's not easy. The question in the grave, it's not easy to answer, You must be ready now. You must do the work of inviting people to Allah daily, because you'll be asked. Even if you are able to answer, my Lord is Allah, you'll be asked, what's your evidence to show that your Lord is Allah? If you're only saying it only, evidence to show that Allah is your Rabb, you must call people to Allah, because that is the desire of Allah. The desire of Allah is for everyone to embrace Islam. So when we recite the kalima La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, we are actually making promise that we will fulfill the desire of Allah. When we make the kalima nikah, we are making promise that we will be fulfilling the desire of the woman. Understand? When we recite the kalima, we are making promise that we fulfill the desire of Allah. Allah wants the entire mankind, not only people in our locality. That's why we must do not only the local work, like Supian, Gombak. We must do local work as well as the work in the whole world. In the whole world, either we ourselves go or we send others to go. If we are not able to go, we must have the ambition, the intention to go to the whole world and to make people to go to the whole world and to do the local works. Our locality is part of the world. We cannot say, I'm going only in the whole world, but not in my locality. Your locality belong to what? Not belong to the whole world. So you must do your local work. And Allah has made, doing the local work of inviting people to Allah to be obligatory, fardu ain, for both men and women. When it is fardu ain, it means it's not meant only for men, it's meant for women and men. Healthy men, adults. You see? But now, neither men nor women are doing local works, doing dawah in their locality. They only maybe praying, not even praying. The men should pray with Jama'ah in the mosque, the woman in the house. Even then they know. What more the work of dawah? Nobody knows in the whole world what are the hukum of doing the work of dawah. The work of inviting people to Allah. Nobody knows. Except me, who tell them this is obligatory, fardu ain. And to go out in the path of Allah is fardu kifayah. It is obligatory too. But only to men, not to women. And to healthy men and having reasonable amount of money to leave behind with their family and to be taken out in the path of Allah. That means it is fardu kifayah. The men who are not, ordered or allowed to stay at home, not doing the work of the whole world, only the men who are very poor and very sick. Otherwise, it is obligatory, fardu kifayah. That's what is called fardu kifayah. It's not that you don't do it. You must do it. If you have all the means, Allah has given you the means, give me wealth, health, you must go. You must not say, oh, I'm not going. I want to save this money for other things, like Sufyan, Gombak. This is when Sufyan are not willing to do when he's healthy, having money, and still do not want to go. He's committing very great evils, you know. Sufyan Gombak and Sufyan Ampang is committing what? Very great evil. Sufyan Ampang got money, healthy. He should go. And also he should do his local work. But both local work and the work in the whole world, he tend to choose not to do. So we become the disobedient servant of Allah. Like the people, the children of Israel, very disobedient. You know, when I read the tafseer, the Quran, you know, many stories of the children of Israel. And the stories are mainly, they are not obedient, very stubborn. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really want them to become the people who obey the orders of Allah, but yet they choose not to obey. You know, Allah has made the Mount of Sinai, you know, to tower upon them and to oversee them, just to show to the children of Israel that I'm powerful and great, so that they will obey Him, obey Allah. But yet when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell them to enter Jerusalem, to enter Palestine and the Holy Land, they refuse. They say there are some giants there. We will not enter until the giant come out from the Holy Land. Only 2% obey, Prophet Musa and Prophet Harun. The rest of them, they don't want to obey. Even though they have seen with their own naked eyes, Allah is great, Allah is powerful. Allah has saved them from Pharaoh. And they saw with their own eyes that Allah has made the Red Sea to break up into 12 channels, you know, and upon which 12 tribes of the Jews are able to follow the channel and to be saved from Pharaoh. When Pharaoh followed them with his armies, Allah makes the sea to join again, and they become drowned inside the sea. They saw it, but yet they do not have the iman in Allah. When Musa alayhi salam left them for 40 days in order to see Allah, to receive the Torah, they worship the idols. When Musa alayhi salam told them to enter Jerusalem, the Holy Land, they say no, we're not going. You see, Allah has made them to be in the desert for 40 years, where there is no work, no business, nothing as a means for their sustenance. And Allah sent food from the sky, manna and salwa, and water from the rock, not from the river. And yet they disobey Allah, very stubborn, like Sufyan Ampang and Sufyan Gombak, very stubborn. Why we choose not to believe in Him, Allah, when He's so great and so powerful? Because we are just so blind. You understand? We are so blind with the love of the material world. The Jews are so blinded with the love of material world, they don't even see the greatness of Allah. And they remain, you know, disobedient. So because they disobey the order to enter the Holy Land, Allah says they'll be not allowed to enter the Holy Land for 40 years. So the Jews are the descendants of the prophets. Many from among them are prophets, and some of them have been given books. So the Jews have become very proud, and they say we are the children of Allah. Allah says if you are the children of Allah, why when you make sins you are punished? You are same as a mortal, as any other man. You are not anything special. And yet the Jews say we are the we enter paradise. Paradise is only for us and Christian. So it's not true. They are just thinking good of themselves. And they say that Muhammad SAW are evil person. The Muslims are evil person. They are the dwellers of hellfire. We are the dwellers of paradise. And yet they kill the prophets. They do mischievous, very treacherous. So this is all conjecture, false thinking. Yeah, thinking that you are good, you are pious. It's all conjecture. What's the proof? You are pious. You are not even willing to fulfill the right of reciting the kalima. How could the kalima will be able to enter your heart and make yourself pious? Why you are so reluctant to do gush? Why the ustad and the scholars and the religious people, so-called, the Muslim in all over the world, are very reluctant to do dawah, to do gush, to go to people and invite them to Allah? That is the right of fulfilling the kalima, the right of the kalima. We have to do this work. It is not only good for certain people or only ordered to those who want to do it. It is an order which is obligatory, fardu ain and fardu kifayah. The whole world, not only in our locality, we have to do gush and jawla. This is the work of prophets, the work of the followers of prophet. Allah says, "Kul hazihi sabili adu ilallah ala basiratin ana wa man ittaba'ani." It's the work of those who believe in Allah and who believe the Prophet of Allah. In order for the kalima to enter into our heart and make ourselves to become the people who are taqwa, the people who are having the fear of Allah, the true believers, the good deeds, we have no choice except to commit our whole soul, mind and body and wealth and time to this work. We have to give time daily, and in a year we should spend time to spend in other parts of the world in order to invite them, to Allah, according to the decision Mashwara made for you. In a month we should go 3, 4, 5 days to neighboring suburb of the city. And that is a thing that I have told in my tafseer. In my tafseer you must read it and you must obey it. Try to understand it and suppress your desire not to do it, so that you will be able to fulfill the desire of Allah. If you are not willing to suppress your desire to do mujahadah, you will not be able to fulfill the desire of Allah. Like Sufyan, both Sufyan Gombak and Ampa. In order to fulfill the desire of Allah, you have to suppress your desire. And that is part of the requirements. You have to do mujahadah. Allah says, whoever mujahadah on my path, that means who suppress their desire in order to follow the orders of Allah, upon them I will open ways. I open many ways, to reach Allah. Many ways mean many avenues, whereupon you will be guided on the path of truth. Okay.